Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we have Clashfronts beginning. We're gonna go through my 5 teams I have for mid-level and pay-to-win level for the Vanguards, and even if you are not a Vanguard, you can pick 3 of your top teams from the 5 different teams that we showcase. That is the whole idea behind this video. And along the way we will talk about some replacement options as well. Okay, leading it off with Gwyneth. Gwyneth is one of the key heroes you want to be building a comp around for your Clashfronts teams. Here we have Hugin buffing up Gwyneth. We have Alicent giving another life to Gwyneth and also that penetration. And of course we have the Lightbearer Phantom Spirit marking the Gwyneth and increasing her attack because she's rearmost. We have Callan for that protection, we have Wingard spell for protection, and then we just have Siren to block the enemy artifact, just complete the Lightbearer faction for our team comp over here. Now, for example, if you don't have Alicent, you can replace Alicent with other heroes. Basically, anything else that's going to provide some value to your team. For example, one hero I would definitely try replacing it with is actually Eevee. Eevee, because she's going to provide the attack buff to your hardest hitting damage dealer, and then also over the course of the fight she's going to potentially investigate and shut down enemies. Or if you even just want to go for more frontline tank, you can go for Zany and just have the 2 Zany towers, for example, in some positioning like this. All of these can be fine and decent options. Basically, you just want to look at any hero that is going to provide something to your team, whether it be like a tanking value or whether it be buffing value or buffing and healing value. So basically, that's what you want to go for. But Alicent is a great option. She can even work as Supreme Plus, and yeah. Okay, this is, yeah, Wingard spell. So moving on to Team 2. Team 2 is going to be the Freerun team comp with the Wilders. This is a very strong team, and definitely it is worth running. So what we have here is we have Theodore boosting up your Freerun. Theodore boosting Celise. So Celise gets an early ultimate off to heal and buff your team. If the enemy has a Lily Mate, it's going to go right into Celise, and that is going to free up your Freerun to actually later on get her ultimate off uninterrupted. Himmel is buffing up your 3 key heroes here, and we have the the Blightshroom Phantom. This is providing the Spirit Mark on Freerun, which just means that she's going to deal a bit of bonus damage to enemies under control effects. That's the only basically effect that's happening here. And we're running with Vanguard spell because the frontmost in the team comp is going to be the Blightshroom with the magic damage. Is going to boost magic damage for the rest of the team, which is Celise and Freerun. And that is the whole game plan here. However, another great artifact choice is the Breakthrough spell, but we do not have the Breakthrough spell. We're using on a different team, but we'll talk about how you can actually enable that. And yeah, so definitely there's a comp you want to run. Himmel is workable at Supreme Plus. The other heroes ideally should be Paragon upgraded, and it can be a really good team comp for you. One of the top like meta teams. Okay, moving on to Team 3, there's a Perseus team. So if you're a Vanguard player but you're limited on options, definitely Perseus is a hero you will want to make use of. In this team comp, we have a bunch of temporary buffs. We have Xandrock, Pheramore, Leica, and even the Breakthrough spell. That is 4 temporary buffs in total. However, if you have the Frontline spell unlocked, this is another team that would do very well with the Frontline spell, where when you want to have 3 allies moving into enemy territory. We already have 3 melee heroes, which are Perseus, Pheramore, and Xandrock. And they're going to be moving into enemy territory and triggering this effect almost definitely. And that is going to work out well with Perseus. So if you have Frontline Spell, if you have that Spirit Monty running, you can run Frontline Spell here and you can run Breakthrough Spell here. That's basically what I was talking about when I was talking about that for this team. But if you don't, that's fine. Breakthrough Spell also is good for this team. Don't get me wrong. It's another temporary buff for both Lily May and Perseus. It gives good stats. Overall, it's still an effective artifact. But potentially the Frontline is more suited for this comp. But yeah, that's going to be this Team 3 and not using Ravion because we're using Ravion on Team 2. Okay, moving on to Team 4. Team 4, it looks maybe a little bit on the crazy side, but trust me, this is going to be very good. Basically, what we have is we have 3 forms of damage over time. Bonnie, Citrana, and your Shade Ring. Okay, so you're going to try to debuff the enemy as much as you possibly can, and then you're just going to stall them out while Zoria is just, you know, taking time to come and re-enter the fight. We also have the Graveborn Phantom, which will be buffing up Zoria. That's our whole plan here. We want to give the Spirit Mark to Zoria because this increases penetration, execution, and really Zoria will be landing those killing blows, those final blows. That's why we have it in this position. And we have Damon, who's also going to stall pretty well for our team. and also spread the debuffs with his magical damage. And we have the surging spell because that has great synergy with Zoria, because basically it keeps proccing and dealing damage while Zoria is not even on the battlefield and just recharging and things. So yeah, this is great. Now if you don't have Zoria, or for example you want to use a different hero, Igor definitely can work. Igor is still good. However, the only thing you have to watch out for with Igor is you don't want him to die quickly, and there's not really any way you can actually prevent that, unfortunately. But you know, if you wanted to do Igor, and maybe the fight is going to be quicker, but you want to go for more firepower, you could actually run the Vanguard spell here. Because if you run the Vanguard spell, it's actually going to increase your magical damage, because Damon is a frontmost and he's a magical damage dealer, and all of the team is just dealing magical damage, right? So you could go for the Vanguard spell here. It would be a really good option. But yeah, I mean, Surging Spell always does have synergy with these teams, and Igor can work rather than Zoria, but Zoria is definitely better. And also, if you want to replace Shadewing, for example, you can also try Eevee. However, Eevee just has a couple of problems. You're not going to get many ultimates off, so she probably won't be able to cycle her investigation that effectively. So yeah, and Shadewing is just more raw damage output. Okay, moving on to Team 5. Team 5 is going to be the Pandora Schmear comp. Now, the thing is, you guys may have seen in my Clashfronts teams, mid teams that we showed for the 3 teams, for lock-in, I was like, run the Bailran, Contess, Twins team. However, on further testing, and also if you have Paragon upgrades on this team specifically, it's still actually better for you to run this Schmear Pandora team if it's like all Paragon 4, Paragon 3 to Paragon 4, for example, compared to like running Supreme plus Bailran and Contest. And the thing is, for a mid-level player, you probably don't have Paragon upgrades into those heroes, and so you're leaving a lot of Paragon, basically, upgrades on the table, and so it's probably still better for you to actually run Pandora Schmear, even though this team is weak. Is not that it still has win potential, and you know, it's still a decent and effective team, and if you have Paragon upgrades into it, you should run it. However, if you just want an alternative team, this can be alternative for your Perseus, it can be alternative for this one, basically whatever you want. The alternative team lineup is just going to be the Twins Contest team, and then throwing in another stalling hyper carrier, whether it be Saida, who's the best option, and then having Saida being buffed up by the Phantom. Saida is the best option, but Bailran can also work, you know, if you don't have that, and you can go for Bailran, you can go for Rowan. Rowan is really core for the Bailran. And then for the final hero, it can be, honestly, it can be Eevee. So for example, if we just move around everyone here, you know, you can do something like this. This is a very effective team, and it can be very decent. Or you can go for Peggy. However, Peggy, the thing is, I don't know. The thing about Peggy is, I feel like a lot of people are trying to make her work as Supreme Plus right now, and she's just not really doing the job. Eevee is a hero that at least provides healing, right? And can investigate. We're going to have multiple ultimates with this comp, so I would probably see Eevee probably fits it a bit better. And as for the artifact, it's basically Swift Heal spell, just for more vitality and healing. But anyway guys, that is going to be it for the mid team. So before we move on to the pay-to-win teams, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're trying to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and greatly appreciate it. So thank you all so much for your support. Okay guys, so here we have the pay-to-win Clashfronts teams, which I am very happy about. So the first team we're going to go through is the Saida Contest Troll team, with Alicent giving the additional life to Contest, and we have the Eevee, who's just going to provide more healing, investigation onto the enemy while we're cycling our ultimates. We're running it with the Swift Heal spell just to give more vitality and more healing procs to try and keep the team sustained. It is great if you can run the Wingard spell with this team for that initial 10-second survival, but we had a better use for that on a different team. But yeah, this is a very strong team. Yeah, very solid. You don't have to run Alicent here. You can run basically anything to give Contest more survivability. That is the whole role of Alicent in this comp, and that is it. Okay, moving on to Team 2. This is the same as basically the free-to-play, or like mid-level of team, because it's so strong. While the free win is a very strong comp, very good budget comp as well. It basically same positioning. We're running it with the breakthrough spell just for some more energy recovery, which can be useful, allowing your sleeves and free win to ultimate that much faster. here. And again, Himmel is buffing up your key heroes here, and not much more to talk about for this comp. So moving on to Team 3. Team 3 is the Sylphira Alna team comp, and what we have is positioning is very important. The Celestial Hypergym Phantomal is buffing up your Sylphira, so she is going to be buffed higher attack and haste. You're going to have Hepler giving another life to Sylphira. We have Zandrock, of course, buffing the whole team. And then we have Mahira behind the Alna just because that's the only place where she's going to fit. We're running it with the frontline spell. Because this is very synergistic for a melee comp, which we have. We have actually 5 melees in this team who are all going to enter the enemy territory almost guaranteed with that haste boost, that movement speed boost at the beginning. And then they're going to have that damage boost and damage reduction, which is just really effective for this comp. It's basically, Frontline Spell is the best artifact for the Sylphira comp in my opinion. It's the most suited for it, or any melee comp for that matter. But yeah, that's going to be a good use of that. Team 4, yes, this one is my new team that I didn't use in previous weeks or even previous Supreme League, but now I am bringing it out. It is Dunlinger Cryonite because we've reset Marcel. If you guys want to see the rest in peace Marcel, this is this. So we fully reset her. We switched the investment into Cryonite, who is now maxed out, because I do believe as of right now, Cryonite still is the 5th best hyper carry that you're going to be able to run in a team comp, and so that is why I'm building this comp around her. So what we have here is we have a lot of survival. We have Catelyn, we have Wingard spell, we have Dunlinger. So adding all of those things together, it basically means Pandora is not going to die, okay, until Cryonite comes out of the box. When Cryonite comes out of the box, she is coming out, guns blazing, burning up the entire enemy team. Maybe that was a poor choice of figurative language because she's actually freezing the enemy team, but you guys get the point. We have the Celestial Hypergym Phantomal further buffing up Cryonite, and we have Rainier actually going to position swap. Definitely at least one of these heroes is going to get swapped. Hopefully I Cryonite just for that increased boost. But that's what we're running. Basically leftover Celestial Hypergeans. And I think this is the best comp we could form. And it is good. Cryonite is good. She has real win potential into multiple top tier teams, and that's why we're running that, and I'm happy with that. Okay, finally we have Team 5. You might be looking at this and being like, what are you doing? What are you cooking? What is wrong with the positioning on this team? Why is it like you're making a W formation or a Mexican train formation? The reason is I'm desperately trying to have Vanguard spell is really awkward because I want obviously the frontmost to be my gunner for the Vanguard spell. That's really essential because that gives him more healing, right? For the whole damage that your team is inflicting. So that's what we wanted. But we also want Gwyneth to be rearmost. And also both of them have to be connected to each other. So like, that's why the positioning has to become so awkward. But this does work because now Gwyneth is rearmost. She's getting all the buffs from your Lightbearer Phantomal and the Spirit Mark 2. And Gunner is frontmost, getting that bonus healing from Vanguard spell. So basically, we did make everything work. Now, along with this team, we have some very interesting tech. We have Kulu to pull up the wall against melee comps, and also we have Kulu for the range defense buff for your allies. That's going to increase our survival. We have Rowan for the immediate energy potion onto Peggy, so like within 1.5 seconds of the match, Peggy will be casting her ultimate, giving us that massive damage reduction, damage absorption with her Royal Guards, who are again eventually going to try to fill up this basically hole of the Kulu wall. That is a whole plan. And then also her range bowman, that's going to mark enemies. Gwyneth's gonna hit them harder, etc, etc. And then also we have some super potions coming out from Rowan, which can hopefully help survival of Gunner and Peggy and other heroes like that. So overall, this team is really effective because it's a good way to deal with the Athalia teams. Graveborn Zoria Athalia was one of the ways that people like to counter or try to counter Gwyneth, but this team really kind of shuts that down because with that damage absorption that, you know, that Peggy provides, Athalia is not going to hit hard enough, and you're going to stall them out and just let Gwyneth kill everyone, which is good. But some weaknesses of this team comp are if the enemy has a Dunlinger, Peggy basically does nothing. That is the unfortunate thing. The Rowan Peggy combo needs to not have an enemy Dunlinger, and obviously eventually that is going to happen. If the enemy has a Lily May, it's a little bit problematic. Yeah, it is a little bit problematic. However, it is what it is, right? There's not much more you can do. Oh, so that is actually, I just thought of something a little bit problematic, which is the fact that the Lightbearer Phantomal, he begins with initial energy, right? 700, and like Peggy also. So the Rowan potion might be going on to the Lightbearer Phantomal. I didn't even think about that. Now, we have a simple solution. Simple solution, we change it like this. Because now, this one should work. Because now Peggy is frontmost compared to the Phantomal. So, Rowan's potion should be prioritizing her. Because they're both going to be over 600 energy. I don't know if Rowan instantly go. I need to do some testing. So, I'll meet you guys back, actually. Okay guys, so I just got back from testing, and yes, I will have to have Peggy more frontmost in the team positioning in order for Rowan Energy Potion to go off onto Peggy, but then it should be basically guaranteed that it goes on to Peggy, because it is just that frontmost kind of like that priority. So we're going to change the positioning as you guys see over here, and that one should be more effective. But anyway guys, that is going to be it for my pay-to-win teams. This final team here, yes, it does look a little bit potentially on the worrying side. However, I think that it is going to get the job done against some teams, and I am more excited about it compared to like running just like, you know, a standard Siren or something into a team like this. But we'll see, and based on testing, maybe change our teams in the future. But anyway guys, hopefully this is helpful. If there's any other team formations you're planning to run, you can share them in the comment section. You can copy and paste your formation ID, others can check it out, and that is always interesting to see. Good luck in Clashfronts, especially if you did make it into the 30-member selection. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thank you all so much for watching, and until the next video, everyone, peace out for now.